Hey guys, welcome back. So I've released a number of videos on graphic mods and track mods for Assetto Corsa, and they're all on my channel, so do check those out. But I thought it was about time I jumped into Assetto Corsa F1 mods, and as you can see by this gameplay, it looks incredible. So this video, I've got three parts to it. So the first is I'm going to be reviewing the ACFL 2020 F1 mod. Second, I'm just going to give you a quick review of a couple of the F1 cars through history that you can download and play. They're fantastic. And then I'm going to show you some gameplay on the F1 cars on free roam, so you can drive these cars on free roam. This is on LA Canyons with two-way traffic, really cool, so check that out at the end of the video. If you do like the video guys, or my channel, do press on that subscribe button, it really helps me to grow the channel. And remember, I release 3 videos per week, every week. Right guys, let's jump right in. So first up guys is ACFL F1 2020 mod for Assetto Corsa. I've dropped the link in the description, so do check this out. Now this is actually a paid for mod, and I don't normally pay for mods, but this one is so good I thought it was worth showing on here. So currently this is running at I think €3.99, normally €4 or €5.99. Check it out on the website, they've got a promo on at the moment. And this gives you all the 2020 cars with full liveries, and as you can see here I'm running a full race at Hockenheim, one of my favourite tracks, and it looks absolutely stunning. ACFL have been running for a number of years and I've got a great community around this, and do check out their Discord channel as well. And what they do is they update these mods as they go throughout the year, so any changes in the 2020 cars they will try and update and add on. They also have been doing F1 mods for the last 3 or 4 years, so do check out their other season packs if you like a particular driver or a particular season. How do they drive then? Well, the 2020 cars here drive really well and they're very stable. But one thing to point out, and I know you can see it in the gameplay here, this is very fast racing. So I'm actually playing this on an Aeon Sim racing rig, which again I'll put the link in the description, and my G29 with pedals etc. So even with steering wheel and a rig, this is very tricky racing. It's not something I would recommend on a gamepad or on keyboard, definitely not. And the way that you have to use your throttle response on this game is pretty intense. Here we are then at Silverstone. Also, it goes without saying that there is a lot of power going through these F1 cars, and even with all the stability mods on, they are still very tricky to take round corners and put your power on correctly. All that though makes for very exciting racing, and the physics actually on the cars are pretty good also. As you can see here, there are crashes, there's quite a lot of crashes actually. But that just makes the racing very exciting. I will say you do have to concentrate intensely when you're driving these F1 cars on these tracks. As for the graphics on the cars, they are very good. As you can see, there are multiple camera angles on all of the different cars, and when I show you some of the older cars later on in the video, you will see that there's different camera angles on those depending what the creator wants to focus on, but these camera angles I think really suit these F1 2020 cars. Also remember, as I say on all my videos, I am running a number of graphic mods on here, so this gameplay really shows off what Sol and the custom shader patch can do. If you've not seen those yet, or you want to know more about those, do check out my channel, as I have a number of tutorials and guides on how to install those. So in this second part of the video, I'm going to go through 3 cars that you can download and play, F1 cars from different eras in history, and they really are very different. So this first car is the Ferrari F310B. This is from 1975. It goes without saying that this car has no mod cons, as you can see in the cockpit there. So this is the F310B that has got 495 brake horsepower, rear wheel drive obviously, 308 Newton meters of torque, and was 606 kilograms. As you look at this car, you'll see it's a very compact car, and that's because the T stood for transversal gearbox. So the gearbox was in a 90-degree angle to the engine. That meant that the car could be very short and actually very agile. Is it fast? It's very fast. Is it hard to drive? Yeah, it's very twitchy, this car. Pushing this car to the limit, you will really feel like you are on the limit. And going around some of these very fast corners and Hockenheim, it really doesn't like it because it's not agile enough on the turning circle to get around them at full speed. But that's something you learn very quickly. However, this car looks incredible. I love the camera angles, and a very iconic car from history. Up next is something completely different. This is the 1997 Michael Schumacher Ferrari, so that's the Ferrari F310B. First up, I'm going to state how much I love this car. This is my favourite F1 car out of all the F1 cars I've driven, including the 2020. It is so fast, it is incredibly rapid. Not only that though, I believe this is the easiest F1 car to drive on its limit, and it is the most enjoyable. The traction on this car is incredible. Also, how good does this car look and sound? When I think of an F1 car, this is what I'm talking about. This 310B has 743 brake horsepower, 344 Newton meters of torque, weighs only 525 kilograms, that is incredibly light. And in 1997, when Schumacher was driving this and Eddie Irvine, they were competing against the Williams cars, and this was one of those battles in F1 history that really captured the public's imagination. This was one of the peaks of F1 racing. Being in the cockpit of this incredibly fast car really brings home to me just how talented the F1 drivers are. And again, now for something completely different. This is the Lotus 72D, again a very iconic car in the history of F1 racing. Everybody knows the livery on this car. The 72D is from 1970, and this comes with 440 brake horsepower, 332 Newton meters of torque, and weighed again a paltry 550 kilograms. And of course this car is incredibly famous because it was designed by the legendary Colin Chapman and Maurice Philippe of Lotus. Noticeable design features of this car were side mounted radiators, which was a big change because from the 1950s all radiators had been on the front of the car. Also this had inboard brakes, which again was very new, and the famous overhead air intake. This car was also incredibly famous for its shape. This aerodynamic wedge shape was one of the first of its kind. It was actually pulled from one of the test beds that Lotus were using in one of its gas turbine cars. And as you can see, this is an iconic shape now in F1. And what is it like to drive? It's incredibly fun. But driving this car on the limit will make it very skittish again. So just like the other 70s and early 80s cars, you have to drive this carefully, you have to have good throttle control. And as you can see by my gameplay here, it's very easy to lose your line and to understeer into corners. This car though does look stunning on Assetto Corsa. It's one of the best F1 recreations on Assetto Corsa right now. So now we've done some of the serious stuff, let's look at some of the fun stuff. And your eyes aren't deceiving you, this is F1 cars on LA canyons, free roam with traffic, absolutely incredible. This is the 2020 Red Bull, and big shout out on this footage, this is Zany P driving this, giving it all on these canyon roads. Now if you've not checked out the free roam tracks yet, do check them out, links in the description on my channel too. So you can obviously cruise around these roads, but what this is about is racing in these F1 cars. And as you can see by this gameplay footage, it is incredibly fun. You can mix the cars up, you can have what you want, and there are cars coming towards you as well as going the same direction as you as well. Now the remote camera angles do make it look like you're not going that fast, but as you can see here in cockpit, over 170 miles an hour on these canyon roads. If you've not downloaded LA Canyons yet, or you've never used any of the free roam tracks on Assetto Corsa, now's your chance. Do check out my channel, and I've put some links in the description below on me installing these and just showing you what they can do. As you can see, it's incredible fun overtaking these cars and racing on these roads. But do be careful guys, a warning, it is very easy to crash on here too. So guys, that's my first taster of the F1 graphical mods in 2020. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will be dropping in and releasing some more videos on F1 mods as I go through the next couple of months, but I'm sure you'll agree these look fantastic currently. I love the graphics, love the gameplay. So do check out the rest of my channel if you love Assetto Corsa. Lots of graphical mod videos, lots of tracks and car reviews also. And do click on that subscribe button, it really helps me to grow the channel. See you soon, guys.